Let's go talk about what we need to do inside here. Come on, Mama. My mom. She puts up with so much, don't you, Mom? Now, let's go in here. So excited about this. This is my interior area. This is the area we have that is going to be chicken free. My little mamas won't be able to take all the food because they always eat my beets, my cabbages. They eat everything that they can before. But now they're not going to be able to. All along here, I can just root this. I'll mix the potatoes all in with these plants. It's this is an area, remember how I had nothing but pure sand? Well, potatoes are pretty cool with pure sand. These are sweet potatoes from last year that I didn't pull up. I was gonna split these vines up before our big freeze. So I think I'm gonna root potatoes all in here. Just plant my potato plants and let them be happy. And I have a lot of onions I have to plant because, you know, my chickens dug up all my onions. I planted 2,500 onions and my chickens left me with that many onions. Thanks, chickens. That's why they lost their privilege to be in here. That's why I had to put the fence up. So I had all onions planted in here. They left me with 2 onions, and I planted probably 100 in this bed. This bed was peppers and tomatoes. I have to just clean out this bed. I don't want longevity spinach in here because longevity spinach is a weed. It really grows like such a weed in my yard. It doesn't really make sense to have it in here in like precious areas. These are tons of this was a big tomato patch. These aren't going to be good seeds, but I saved a lot of the seeds already. These are Everglades tomatoes, so I'll put in all my Everglades. That's an aster. It's called Mexican dream root or dream plant, and it's a type of aster, but it is such a pollinator feeder that I can't take it all the way out, but it can't be that big in a raised bed area. So I'm going to cut this back heavily, but then I'm going to move that outside and plant it in various places just to feed the pollinators and bring them in because they really loved that plant. And I just have to get this place cleaned up. This whole area is a total mess. Like my poor little palms, these are coconut palms, and they'll survive. This was already dead anyway, this part. I just haven't cut it back. But we protected the center, and it will be just fine. My beds are just really in need of being cleaned up. But you can tell these tomatoes I let go to seed, and there's plenty of tomato and tomato seeds all in these beds. They'll come up. Everglades tomatoes come up all over my yard. My compost heaps have tons of them in it. What should we start on first, Mom? Okay, I'll bring the potatoes out. I'm gonna go get the potatoes and I will be right back. I rooted potatoes, organic potatoes from various stores. See how I just placed these on my windowsill and see what will grow. Now you can cut these into multiple potatoes, but I'm just gonna plant them whole. And I saw on Green Dreams this place called Candyland. It's a YouTube video. So I just love these. When I saw these, I just thought they were so cute. And these are stainless steel. You basically are gonna have, Mom, look how adorable. Okay, guys, in case you're like me and you don't know what you're doing, you're going to take them like this from the bottom and you're going to turn them around like that. Oh gosh, that was confusing. So aren't these charming? They were like $37 for 15 of them. So I bought like 90 of them because I would love for, so I'm going to just put potatoes because these are potatoes that I got from Whole Foods. So white, and this is a wax that won't wash off. And potato does not have an E on the end of it. So let me show you what I'm going to do with this. White potato. And look, watch how easy this is going to be to bury. And potatoes like this kind of dirt. They like crappy dirt. What do you think? Is that far enough down? Mm-mm. But I'm going to be mounding compost on top of them.
Oh, good.
So these are going to have compost mounded on top of them, guys. That's it. This is a sweet potato. These slips are perfectly happy still, and this will grow back. I have sweet potato all in here. And in addition to that, I'll have white potato. When you do this, you got to get your weeds. Okay, let me get some more. Yeah, now these white potatoes, they're really easy to put in the ground. In my case, it's sandy dirt right here. It's not like super great compost like in the rest of my yard. I'm basically sticking it the side down that doesn't have any roots growing out of it. That's fine. Like in this case, I have roots on all the sides. So on this side is probably the best side to put it down. I need to compost this area anyway. So it's the perfect time to plant the potatoes because I'm going to be mounding compost and leaf litter on top of them. So I might as well plant these now, and then I can mound the compost and leaf litter on top of them. In this area, I haven't put fresh compost or fresh leaf litter from our electric company out in probably a year and a half. So it is not terrible because when I first did it, I did put about maybe a foot of it, but every time I weed, I just throw the weeds right on the ground out of my raised beds. But at the same time, I still need to put probably another foot of leaf litter in this area. And I figure that will be enough to mound up over the potatoes in the area. White potatoes are in. Now we have a bunch of onions to plant. The rest of the onions. But these are actual onion bulbs. Do we want to do the onions right now?
Sure, where you want to put them?
I figured we'd mix them in everywhere. Onions are obvious, so you don't have to really label them. So because my chickens did have a field day digging up some onions, you can see a lot of spaces are missing from my onion patch. I'm just going to take these items and I'm going to start filling in because I'm going to be growing. I've got asparagus crowns I'm going to be putting in today. I've got these onions. I've got garlic. And I like to just mix my onions together. Ready, Mom?
Yep.
Okay, let's plant this. And the nice part is, so this isn't perfect soil, but because my pool deck was this whole area was raised up when we built our pool, but it's got some nutrients in it. I mean, this isn't bad. So, little mamas, no fussing. Oh, that chicken's having a good time. So these are asparagus. I have a bunch of asparagus in another area of my yard, but my chickens, of course, dug it up because they didn't want it to be where it was. So I'm going to trim this up and plant it. This is just a crown of an asparagus, and I left a lot of it. But I would rather have these crowns be in here where they're protected from the chickens. I'm afraid the chickens are going to love asparagus and I won't get any. So these crowns you can, it looks like you can separate, but I'll be perfectly happy just to plant this. And you plant it kind of in a little mound. I'll just shove some of the dirt up underneath that. There. That's asparagus. My poor little chickens are walking back and forth and they are just in complete shock that they can't get into this area. But it's really nice to not have them inside here. I mean, I spend so much time on the outside doing yard work and weeding and planting things that I know they don't eat and they can't easily dig up. So I still get to interact a lot with them, but it really is so helpful to just have this area off limits to them. This is longevity spinach. It is such a weed. I don't need to waste space. Those ants. Oh my God. Still biting me. It's miserable. Here I decided to pull out my longevity spinach. Because I have that just growing all over my yard, it really didn't make any sense to grow it inside of a raised bed in an area that is protected from chickens because the chickens don't seem to eat the longevity spinach. Or if they are, there's just so much of it that it doesn't really matter. If they want to eat it, they're welcome to it. They do like to scratch around in it. I see them laying on it and scratching around in it all the time. So this will work for us to just pull out the longevity spinach in this area. I'm also throwing the weeds and the plants that I'm pulling out outside of the fence because the chickens will dig around and scratch in them. And I'm going to pull in a bunch of leaf litter from the tree company. Tomato plant that is not good. Whew. Careful, Mom, don't trip over all that. See? She's my best farmhand. Her nickname is Strung Like a Bull. She is strung like a bull. Ooh. So that was a weed in my yard. It's called longevity spinach. And it doesn't really make sense to have that growing in like a high dollar area where I have this amazing compost that I made. And then in this one I added, because this is where I normally plant my carrots. So I added like perlite and all kinds of stuff to make this perfect. That bed, let me show you the dirt. We created this dirt with tree trimmings. I got poop from like 5 different kinds of animals. And I mean, look at that. That's beautiful. It's got sand in it too, but everything's well drained. I think it's perfect dirt. So I don't want to have longevity spinach growing in it like a weed taking over my beds. Now that plant behind it, we're also taking out. I have that in my Feed the Pollinators video. It's fabulous. I mean, so many different types of pollinators were on it. But the problem is, okay, I have a swimming pool right there with a beautiful view, and then this gigantic bush is taking over the view. But I can cut it back. I did root it. I can cut it back, and I'm going to plant that all over the place because my pollinators totally love it. But I don't need it in this gigantic bush in a bed that has a cattle panel, because really I want to put my tomatoes on that cattle panel. So it has to go. But now is the time to do it because the pollinators are not eating. Oh my God, I got eaten alive by ants. My feet are on fire. So back to it. Can't let my mom do all the work. Right, Mom?
That's right.
Little mama. Oh, God, I almost dropped that on Zella Blue. Yeah, that's what's perfect to keep that. Because I want to plant it, but I'll plant it in places that are not such high dollar places. Look at the difference in here. That big plant was just taking up all the space. And while it was awesome for pollinators, I can plant it all over the place. It doesn't need to be in my raised garden beds that I want for my vegetables. So we still have to plant the rest of these crowns. And then we're going to plant these onions. And then I'm going to be planting my seeded plants, which are, my seeded plants are my zucchini. It's Alexandria zucchini, my Everglades tomatoes, a bunch of different kinds of peppers. We like ghost peppers. They're super, super hot. Grove peppers is another favorite. Anything you want to plant, Mom?
No, I love those grove peppers.
Yes. We like to make hot, hot salsa. And my parents love pepper jelly on everything. Okay, so this bed is going to have onions. That bed is going to have onions. And then we'll just mix stuff in between the onions. Like we'll put all along the back, because this is a cattle panel, all along the back will be tomatoes on both sides. But then all kinds of stuff in between. And same with that bed over there. I have a ton of jicama I have to plant. I think I'm just going to plant it along this whole, because it's a yam bean. It has, you know, a bean and it has a vine. I'm going to plant it all along that side because the sun is really going to come from that way to that way. So planting it along that fence will not really block anything. So little mama, little fussy girl, you are fussing up a storm. My pretty girls, they are working hard mixing that up for me. No, Mama, do not fuss. You are just a fussy mama. No fussing, Mama, no fussing. Look at her, she's reaching her head through to get stuff. Oh God, it's so nice and light. You're not having to like try to avoid the plant.
You have to make a mound, Paula.
Yes, but look how long these are.
They're nice.
Amazing. I know, Mama. between the chickens' heads.
Oh, they're not happy that they can't get to this.
I know. That's why the mom's fussing at me. And she's fussing at you too, just so you know. So the way you plant asparagus, you straighten out all your roots and you plant a pile. You basically make a mound. You dig a hole, then you make a mound like this inside the hole. Then you plant this on top like this. And then this is only going to be 3 inches underground. But that way the roots will be happy. And then now I can just cover this up. And then give it a pat so you get the air out. Oh, Mama, you were not allowed to get under here, little Mama. See, they already figured out there's a little breach down here. No fussing, Mama. No fussing, little Mama. So I sent out 50 bags of fig cuttings. Like, somebody told me a fig guy who was really into figs, told me how to ship figs. He said, I'm actually gonna start growing plants for him. He administers a seed bank, and he's gonna mail me a bunch of seeds that I'm gonna start growing here, because the goal is to keep the seeds from dying out. They're rare seeds. So look how long these are. Now the ones I dug up from my yard had roots that fat, so clearly older and happy. Here's my neighbor flying in on his plane. He sometimes will. Anyway. Make my little mound. Mamas. These are aggravated mamas. Oh, you are aggravated, aren't you? I have a lot, Mom. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 16. I have like 10 of them in my yard too, over there. But I'm gonna leave them there. They seem safe. As long as the chickens don't like to eat them, then I'm good. Why don't we put them somewhere else? Well, we can just go down that way. To get me under there. Look, she's trying. She's trying to get under. No, Mama. No, Mama. No, fussy girl. I am gonna get you. I am gonna get you, Mama. This is my smartest chicken, apparently. And she's trying to teach the other girls how to get under. No, Mama. Is that Zella Blue? No, is that Queen of Escape? No, does she have a gold eye? She does have gold eye. Mama, you are not allowed to do that, Mama. She wants to get under here. Oh, she's gonna dig herself a hole to come under. This is a smart chicken. She's literally digging a hole to get under here. I may have to put like blocks or something. No, Mama. You get out of here, Mama. That's a fussy girl, and she's aggravated that she's being kept out of this favorite area. So these now are all asparagus. And I love asparagus. Now we're going to put asparagus down this row. Or should we do something different? Just have asparagus, then maybe jicama, then some more asparagus. My mom likes to keep things neat and tidy.
I liked it.
You want this to be asparagus? All we do is leave enough space to walk. Asparagus are so easy to walk by because they're soft, like furry plants. They're just the thinnest,
like a beautiful fern.
Soft, like fern-like plant. So it's simple. So I'm going to go ahead and put some asparagus in here. So how many do I have left? Make your little mound. This is a little tiny one. Stick this over the mound. Three inches down. Look at how I have this lovely mycelium and just all kinds of fungal life on the bottom of this.
You got one of the asparagus in your hand that time. Your fingers.
Yeah, I was one. There was one there, but I moved it out of the way.
Put you closer to the.
See, look at this fungal life. See all that wood just breaking apart with all this like mycelium just growing all over it. It's so happy. Not this too far?
It gets too far away from the fence. I'll be able to walk through.
My chickens are just appalled that they cannot reach this. Whenever I dig, they want to be in it. Mama, I'm sorry, but you guys were destroying everything.
You keep digging.
No, Mama. I want to get in there. How do I get in there? Sorry, Mamas.
Look at this red one is frantic. She's looking everywhere. How did I get my head in there earlier?
Sorry, Mamas.
Oh, Paula.
I'm sorry, Mamas. You know I love you, but you can't come in here, Mamas. Guaranteed they're going to find a way to get in here. They really want to get in here. Mom, be careful, because if they stick their head under and you go like that real fast, I don't want my babies to die. Don't worry about the grass. I'll just cover with mulch. I'm not worried about the grass. I'll mulch the hell out of this. Hang on, Mama. She is a fusser. She is a fussy, fussy mama. I'm sorry, Mama. Oh, she's gonna make a fussing sound now. There. Now we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to go. So we finished planting the asparagus, and I want to thank you so much for coming on this journey with us. We really had a fun time. I love getting out into the yard with my mom, planting plants, harvesting, just entertaining ourselves, and playing with the baby girls. So thanks so much for coming, guys, and I will see you next time. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.